delivered. The righteous are delivered through knowledge. There's something that you need to know. What books are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are you hanging around? What are you doing to increase the knowledge base in your life? Because your life is limited to the level of knowledge in your mind. You cannot live beyond the level of your knowledge. So what is it that you need to know? So the first thing is to get knowledge. They put death in the pot. That was something that they needed to know, and the prophet Elisha knew something to neutralize the poison that was in the stew. And I want you to notice that they were making a stew. And may I just tell you that America is a stew? God is not colorblind. There are white folks in the stew, black folks in the stew, Latino folks in the stew, Asian folks in the stew. And it's not a melting pot, it's a stew. When something is a melting pot, they all lose their own individual identity. God wanted different identity. He created the rainbow that has 7 different colors. And he wanted to be, he likes yellow and green and red and blue. He created the colors. God is not colorblind. He makes a stew. So some of us, if you're eating stew, do you want your stew to be in such a way where you can't identify the beef tips? If there are chunks of beef that you need to know, this is beef. I want to be able to distinguish the carrots and the potatoes and the onion. It's not made to blend all like in the beef. So each one adds a different flavor. They bring something to the stew that contributes, that is meaningful, and allows us in every spoon to be able to enjoy it. We're a stew. We're a stew. We're a stew. And it can be good. It can be really good. Just being all together and still having different identities because we bring a different flavor to the stew. Each one makes a contribution to the stew. Each one has a nutrient that it provides to it. So there's something in a carrot that a potato doesn't have. And God knows there's something in the texture of beef that you just don't get from a string bean and spinach. It is what it is. And so it's a stew. And sometimes, isn't it amazing? Somebody's trying to poison our stew in America. And we need to have a miracle out of a mess. God is so relevant. He's so awesomely relevant. He really is. But once you get knowledge, here's the second thing that you do: get moving. Get moving. Don't sit on what you know. Get moving. There's something that you know. Don't sit on an idea. Once you get the knowledge of something, get moving with it. Get moving with it. Don't get knowledge on health and then just sit on it. Don't get knowledge on wealth and finances and then just sit on it. Don't get knowledge on the power of God operating it in through your life and then just sit on it. Get knowledge and then get moving. Get moving. Success is always connected to motion. Success is always connected to motion. When you first see God in the book of Genesis chapter 1, it's the Spirit of God moving on the face of the deep. There was darkness. The world was chaotic and lesser. God's Spirit was hovering. It was moving. He was waiting. He was just waiting. And in the 22nd chapter of Revelation, Jesus said, "Behold, I come quickly." He's still moving again in Revelation. We see him in the opening of the book moving, and in the close of the book, he's moving, still moving. God moves. Success is always connected to motion. You've got to get moving. You've got to get moving. God can only bless moving people. Listen, don't sit there and wait on God to actually give you all of the answers while you're still sitting there. He says, "Get up, Abraham, and go into the land that I will show you." Abraham didn't know where he was going, but while he's just in obedience, just saying, "God, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to set myself in motion," because listen, here's the deal. God does not lead a parked car. If you're going to be led by the Spirit of God, you can't lead anything that's not willing to move. You have to get in motion. You have to say, "Lord, okay, I will follow you. Where he leads me, I will follow." I've got to get in motion. The miracle doesn't happen until you get in motion. He says, he'll put some salve on some folks' eyes with mud, and he says, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam, and thou shalt come again seeing." When you bust a move, when you get in motion with what I put on you, that's when you're healed. You remember the lepers? They were healed as they went. Wouldn't it be silly to just get something from God and then sit out on it? They will heal as they went. As you get that thing, as you get it, then God will start. He'll open it up to you. He will open it up and it'll start making sense to you. But certain things don't make sense until you bust a move. Once you get some knowledge, now you got to get moving. We want to have the whole floor plan and everything totally laid out. You are venturing out into the unknown. If he's going to show you everything ahead of time, then you don't need faith. But by faith, Abraham followed him. By faith, he became the father of faith because he went into the unknown, depending on God. So you have to get moving because there's certain things that God will never activate in you until you bust a move. Miracle power is never released until somebody makes themselves uncomfortable by putting themselves out there. The fruit grows on the limb. And you have to get out on a limb if you really want the fruit of the Spirit to start working. And not only the fruit of the Spirit, but if you want the gifts of the Spirit, the gifts are hanging out on a limb. And you got to get out on the limb. But we got tree huggers. They just love the word and you're just holding on to the tree and just, ooh. But the gifts nor the fruit grow on the trunk. They grow on the branches. Jesus said, I'm the vine and ye are the branch. You got to get out among folks. And then that fruit starts budding. It comes up through the trunk and goes out on the branch and it starts going. But you got to get moving. You got to get moving, get moving. You get knowledge and then you get moving. Get knowledge and then you get moving. Success is always connected to motion. I'll tell you, a lady lost her job. She was sitting at home watching all of the soap operas, All of My Children, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, all of this, it was one of them called The Shadows, Dark Shadows, whatever it was. You know, that you could use such people to just sit down and watch soap operas. Life was so wholesome back then. Housewives at home washing clothes, folding them, and looking at the soap opera. Isn't it interesting? This lady was at home. She'd lost her job. She was at home watching soap operas. And then this idea came to her one day. Maybe I need to brush up on my skills. And she pulled out an old manual typewriter and started typing newspaper articles. And she opened up the magazine and she started retyping magazine articles. She got her speed from 20 words a minute to 25, from 25 to 30, from 30 to 35, from 35 to 40, from 40 to 50, from 50 to 60, from 60 to 70, from 70 to 80, from 80, she finally got it up to 90 words a minute. And she'd acquired a skill. She'd gotten knowledge. Now, she's going to get moving. So she goes down to the temp office and puts in an application. Within a week, they had her on an assignment. And within her first month on that assignment, they hired her permanently. And she was hired permanently, making twice the amount of money that she'd been laid off from before. She got the job.